What's good, y'all? Back with some NBA content, man. As we're recording this on the Tuesday, October 17th. We're a week away, man, from NBA basketball. I am so hyped. Peyton Pritchard's lighting it up in preseason. Man, that really gets me going. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about, we did the over-unders last week for the East, so check that out if you haven't. But we're doing the West this week. And I don't know how you feel, Nate, but this was the hardest for me, man. This was way harder than the East. I feel like the East was so easy compared to what I just witnessed going through these over unders. But yeah,
I definitely agree. I think the East was
okay.
miles.
I don't know, bro. I was feeling
easier.
good about the East, man. I might have to throw a little something together and post it. But yeah, man. I mean, we're just gonna hop right into it. The Mavs, man. So many questions around this team. But this is my first lock. Give me the over. I think Luka and Kyrie kill it in the regular season. I don't know what it's going to look like in the postseason, but I think that combined with more production from the bench, Derek Lively, their rookie, I think he's going to be really good. Rim protector for them. They've been missing that. So give me the over, lock it in.
Yeah, I'm going to take the over as well. I don't know. I mean, that is a very good lock because I think that they have so much potential to be a really good regular season team. But like you said, when it really gets into the playoffs, we will see.
I mean, we know what Luka's going to do in the playoffs, but it's the rest.
Yeah. But, yeah, give me the over as well. I think this Mavs team, like I said, it's just too talented. And 44 wins, that's definitely manageable.
The Nuggets, this is tied as the highest. Give me the over. Man, if they stay healthy, I don't see how this doesn't go over. Excited to see this Jamal Murray. Just so happy to see him play, man. I want him to be an all-star so bad. Excited to see that new rookie that they got. I can't remember his name, but man, they're just so plug and play with this bench. We're going to be finding a new person to bet the over on this points in no time. So give me the over.
Yeah, I think they didn't really lose too many players. They lost
Bruce Brown, Jeff Green.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Green, he played minutes, but he wasn't really that big of a difference. They're the best team in basketball, simply put. So they're definitely going to show out during the regular season. So give me the over as well.
This next team is Nate doesn't want to admit it, but I think his favorite team.
Not NBA. I don't got a specific team. I'm an NBA fan.
He's got to clear that up. The 47.5 for the Warriors. Give me the under. Man, Chris Paul is my favorite player ever. Goes back to Wake Forest for me, man. Loyalty. But give me the under. I think somebody's got to, lose games, and it's going to be a tough conference. And I think there'll be a great playoff team. Maybe it doesn't add up in the regular season. It might take some time to gel all this together. So give me the under.
I can see them finishing with literally 47 wins.
It's a good line.
I think this is one of their last big hoorahs to really go after a championship. And I think the addition of Chris Paul, we talked about it in the offseason. At the time, I was a little against the move. But I don't know if it was you or where I heard this from, but when they had Jordan Poole on the court, they went from one of the best offenses to one of the worst offenses.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, and I think Chris Paul, that's just such a big difference. And for him to be able to just, run the offense how it should be ran when Curry's not playing. As long as they can stay healthy, give me the over reluctantly. I think that they have a lot to play for this season. So, and Steve Kerr is still one of the best coaches I've ever seen. So, give me the over reluctantly, though. real reluctantly.
Yeah, I can't hate because it's such a tough line. And
Mhm.
yeah, and real quick, man. Like you said, man. Everybody keeps talking about what it's going to look like with Chris Paul and Steph on the court at the same time, but that's not really what they brought him in for. I don't believe it's for the minutes that he's not on the court, and Steph can get this moment where he can rest, and because when he's on the floor, man, they're the best offense, man. But they need the facilitator off that when he's off that floor, man. I think he'll do it, but
And Clay, I don't think we see what we saw in the playoffs.
yeah,
I think they're too good. Even though they are getting older, they're just too good. They're too well coached of a team. Like,
yeah. And this is second year coming off of a big injury. Still had the most makes, the most 3-pointers made last year. So I'm expecting a big year, contract year. So
they're going to score a lot of points.
For
a lot
sure.
of points.
Yeah, one of the best league pass teams for sure. The Rockets are sitting at 31.5. Talk about questions. Man, they got some questions. I think they lost the biggest. What was holding them? Well, I think bringing in Udoka would fix this anyways, but I'm glad that they lost Kevin Porter Jr. They flipped him actually today for 2 firsts, and he got dropped immediately. But I just think they can find their true point guard now in Fred VanVleet. But, man, do they have a wing conundrum. They have a lot of wings.
Didn't they get Oladipo today, too?
Yes, they're going to end up either waiving him or trading him. So everybody's already talking about what team he's going to go to. But, yeah, the Rockets, they have Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith. Like, they got so many wings. I don't know what they're going to do. But if there's a guy to figure it out, it's Udoka. So give me the over. I almost locked this in. But, yeah, it's go time for the Rockets, man. They got a real coach now.
It's tough because just going based on what we've seen in the last few seasons, 31.5. They're off the top of your head, their win total from last season?
I want to say their win total last season was sitting at like 24.5.
I'm going to take the under. I could definitely see them being over, but there's, like you said, there's too many question marks. Coaching is not one of them, but with just how young of a team this is, getting rid of a player like that definitely, I think overall in the long term will definitely help your organization. But right now, with how competitive the West is and just the NBA and overall, give me the under.
Yeah.
I would not lock it in, though.
The Los Angeles Chargers, the Clippers,
Too much NFL talk.
the 45.5. Man,
I think they're going to beat the Chargers.
They are the Chargers of the NBA, man. They really are. Give me the under. With all the talks that they don't want to give up Terrence Mann for James Harden, I don't know, man. They like what they have, man. That's for sure. It's tough, man. It really is tough for me because if PG and Kawhi are healthy, I think this is over. They just have too much talent. Norman Powell. You go down the list.
Westbrook's playing good.
Westbrook. Yeah, they got too much talent, man. But if I were to bet on them guys to stay healthy, I'd look like an idiot. So give me the under.
I'm honestly gonna lock in the under. Like you said, they are such a talented team, but we've been talking about them potentially winning a championship since we were still in high school. And that's
You're right.
They still have the same core as they did, and they underachieve every single season. Like, they really are the Chargers of the NBA. So lock in the under. Yeah, there's not too much more to. It sucks because those are two dudes that are still some of the best basketball players in the world right now.
For sure.
They haven't been able to put everything together.
The Lakers, they're just a win above, man. 46.5. And this is my second lock. Give me the over. I hate to say it, but give me the over, man. Them Lakers, man. This is Christian Wood's last year for me to be like, is he a rotation player or not? But I like the other additions, man. I'm in on Torian Prince. They brought back Rui. They brought back Austin Reeves. I don't gotta go down the list of what they added. We have a free agency video. Check it out. Man, the Lakers are gonna be good this year. They got regular season D'Lo. Might flip them by the trade deadline. Like, they got so many options, man. The biggest thing to me though is even if LeBron doesn't play, I think they'll be a good team, and that's all you can ask for because LeBron's at the age where he's going to miss 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have that insurance, and, man, scary, man. They're contenders.
I think this is another team this is kind of like their last go at it. You know, especially LeBron. He's only getting older. Like, I mean, even though the points have dropped off, but, like, the overall production has not dropped off. Look, LeBron is still LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they, especially this offseason, like, constructed their team, adding a lot of good bench players and just a lot of good rotation guys that are going to give you points and play a lot better defense than they did last season. I think I'm going to lock this in with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Lakers are probably going to be competing with the Nuggets as the top seed in the West. So, yeah, give me the over.
Mm-hmm. I like it. The Grizzlies are 45.5. Ja Morant is suspended for 25 games. Don't forget that. For that reason, give me the under. But, shoot, I mean, Desmond Bane's been killing it at the point guard position in preseason. He really has. He's been showing all the skills. Jaren Jackson, I think, will get better year after year. He's just now hitting his prime. Yeah, I thought about this one for a while, but because of the Ja thing, give me the under.
I'm going to lock in the under. I think 25 games, like, that is such a big deal. That's almost a third of the season right there.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, you're losing your best player. You know, you're losing 25, 30 points per game. Like, are they going to be able to score 110, 120 points, like, to compete with these other teams, especially in the West that have so much firepower, like, without Ja? I think once they get him back, everything will be fine. They'll probably still be a playoff team, like, no question, but 45.5 wins, like, yeah, give me the under.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Clippers, you know?
Yeah. The Timberwolves are 44.5. Give me the over. And there's one reason that I'm taking the over, and that is my boy Ant-Man. Every year we see, well, not every year because it doesn't happen every year, but every now and again we see somebody go off for Team USA, and it carries right over to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Ant-Man was that man when it came to the USA basketball this year. He just solidified himself as I was the best player in that class. And it's that time where he's going to step up and carry this team to 46, 47 wins. Rudy Gobert could get shipped, or he could figure it out. I mean, I don't see Cat and Rudy being there next year, but give me the over.
That's a very good point. I mean, if you look at the lines, like, a lot of these teams are kind of set pretty similarly.
Mm-hmm. They don't know what to do.
I mean, I already took 2 unders. I don't want to, like... It's tough. That's such a tough line.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest question mark with this team is their overall chemistry, especially with the 2 big men. Neither one of them have been able to figure it out with each other. But when the games that they do, like, it shows, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the over real reluctantly. I wouldn't lock it in, but if there is a team that is gonna take a step forward, I think they're one of them.
Mm-hmm. Our next team is also 44.5. Yeah, like you said, all these teams, they're like mashing them together because it's such a tight race.
Yeah.
But
Competitive conference.
this is one of my locks. Pelicans 44.5 under. Man, you're already seeing it. They're losing guys left and right. So many question marks about their all-stars, if they're going to be healthy. I think Trey Murphy is going to step up this year and be a killer. But Give me the under in this tough West. If they were in the East, I could see them winning, easily getting this over. But it's tough out here for the Pels, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the under as well. I think that this has been one of the biggest like what if teams for the last 2 or 3 seasons now.
Mhm.
Like they had all the young talent in the world to build chemistry and just put a good team together, but Zion has missed way too much time. And like that's gonna play a big factor into that, into everything. I just I question a lot with this team. So until I really see it, because I've been wanting the Pelicans to be competitive for the last few seasons because you do have a lot of young talent. But give me the under.
Mm-hmm. Speaking on a team with some young talent,
Mm-hmm.
the Thunder are sitting there at 44.5. Give me the over, and I'm not kidding when I say this. I could see a 50 win team right here. If they just figure it out, man. Because the biggest thing about the NBA, we talk about it every year, is all you need is one superstar, and that's Shea. If you give the keys fully to him, don't rest him any games, he's gonna kill, man. And between him, Chet, Josh Giddey, Jalen Williams, I mean, this team is stacked with just up and comers, man. And that all these picks that they have, I mean, they could flip it and they could look like a bunch of these dudes with a bunch of veterans. Who knows what it could look like, man? So for that reason, give me the over. I think that they swap places with the Kings. So
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I
Yeah.
think Shea is gonna have an MVP type season this year. And like you said, as long as he's not resting games, like he's gonna put up the numbers.
Mhm.
And this Thunder team, they're just like you said, they're such a young team, young upcoming team. Like they built their. That's what you do in the NBA. You tank it for a few seasons. You get a lot of assets. I mean, it helps when you draft somebody as good as Shea, but
Well, they traded for Shea, but
Well,
when you draft Josh Giddey and Jalen Williams and Chad,
when you
like,
just draft overall well, like
Mhm.
you have a really bright future. So
Mhm.
in a competitive West, I think they take a step forward. So I'm right there with you with the over.
Couple more teams for y'all, man, and then we're out of here. But the Suns are sitting there at 52.5. Give me the over, man. There's D-Book, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant. You know the story, and and then Ute Watanabe. So, I mean, I just think regular season wise, I mean, as long as they got two of those dudes out there, they're winning games left and right. And I think they're going to be battling out with the Nuggets for the number 1 seed. Give me the over.
I mean, on paper, like they should be a real dominant regular season team. I mean, that gives them room for quite a few losses. This is tough because this is like out of all these teams, especially with all these high lines, like this is the biggest question mark.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the under, but real reluctantly. Like you said, I think they are gonna compete with the Nuggets and the Lakers for the top of the conference. But man, give me the under. I might live to regret that. I probably will, but for now I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah. The Blazers are 27.5. Give me the under. I think this will be the worst record in the league. I just think they got some figuring out to do. I mean, none of these dudes have really played together, and it's gonna be ugly with Chauncey Billups. I'm not a believer in Chauncey Billups. Love him as a player, but usually you want a real, like, a Udoka type, like, not just a player's coach, an X and O's guy when it comes to young players. So for that reason, give me an under.
I'm gonna use my last and final lock on the under. I mean, Damian Lillard was the only reason this team was competitive in games that they were competitive in.
Right.
You know, and all they did was just get worse as a team, which I understand. Once you do trade away an asset like that, you want to rebuild as much as you can and look for the future. But give me the under, lock it in. The Blazers, like you said, I think will probably have the worst record in the league. At least bottom 3, bottom 5. So lock in the under.
Mm-hmm. The Kings are 44.5. I'm gonna lock in the under. I accidentally have written down over. But give me the under on this team. I just don't think that they repeat what they did last year. But this was my favorite team to watch last year, so I'm gonna keep watching, man. De'Aaron Fox, clutch player last year, won that award, but you can lock in the under. I know it's kind of a hot take, but that's what I'm going with.
I'm gonna take the over, even though I feel like they did kind of catch lightning in the bottle last season. I think that there's something to that, and I think when you have a team that can show that type of poise, and I mean, at home last season, like they were one of the best teams at home.
Yeah.
And I really do think there is something to that. So, even though this is such a competitive conference, I feel like I've taken a lot of unders. I think I'm gonna take the over. But if they finish with like 43 wins, 42 wins, like that would make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not to say they're going to be this bad, but they're the Vikings to me. I mean, they were in so many close games, and it came down to Fox just being clutch and them making big plays. But it's going to be crazy to watch them, man. They're so fun to watch. But the new kids on the block, man, the fun teams to watch. The Spurs are sitting there at 28.5. Give me the over. From what we've seen from Wembanyama so far, I mean, if he's healthy, I don't see him not winning 30 games. I really don't. I mean, dude's a freak, and that's the type of dude that like when just flat out gets you 30, no matter who's around. So give me the over.
I mean, he's hyped up to being the best prospect we've seen since LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just like you said, what we have seen from him already. I mean, there's a lot to be encouraged about. 28.5. That's such a low line, and when you compare that to another team like the Blazers, like yeah, give me the Spurs over.
Yeah. Yeah, and the biggest shock to me was when I turned on their first preseason game against Chet, and Chet literally looked like a little kid. Like that was nuts to me. But yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great to watch him play.
Just like the Spurs are just too, even though they're a young team that's still like rebuilding and getting assets, like they're just so well coached.
Mm-hmm. And they got names, man, like Devin Vassell and Johnson. Like they're out there, man. We're gonna see what happens. This next team was the biggest surprise last year from everybody.
Yeah.
The Jazz are sitting at 35.5. This was a 40 win team last year. So give me the over. They picked up John Collins. That was their biggest ad. Give me the over. Another team with a bright future, and can Laurie repeat it? We're gonna find out.
This is another team that like they're gonna play pretty good defense and they're gonna be able to score as well. But like you said, they did have 40 wins last year. I mean, did they get 4.5 losses worse? I don't think so. So I think they might literally just cover that line. I'm gonna take the over reluctantly.
Yeah. I mean, like we already said, man, plenty of times, but somebody's got to lose games, man, because it's gonna be crazy in this conference.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pumped. Next week you can expect content from us. We're actually going to be recording on the first set of the games, so hopefully all goes well and we get the episode right out for y'all, and then we're right into NBA content. Check out our NFL content as well. Check out the TikTok, Instagram, all that, man. But it was real, y'all. Peace.